I'm back.
You're my best friend.
As you can tell by the title of this video, it is a life update. I know some of you are like, where has this girl been? Let's talk about a little bit of last year. So the last time that I was putting out content, a matter of fact, I went and looked on my YouTube studio and it said maybe about 7 months ago or almost 8 months ago. And I'm like, wow, I did not know that, it's been that long. Well, nevertheless, it has. So with that being said, let's do a little recap, okay? Welcome to my first official video. Yay!
Wide awake is the way that you left me, side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you left me, oh. Now it's clear we are here back at your house, and I keep fading into the background. I'm wide awake, now you keep missing out for sure. Take down your walls and let me, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me, ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna be right there by your side, I wanna be there, won't you be mine? Take down your walls and let me, yeah, brick by brick, now let me, in my bed 5 to 12, wish I could sleep. Dream about all the ways you could reach me, but now you keep missing out on me, that's for sure. Take down your walls and let me, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me, ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna be right there by your side, I wanna be there, won't you be mine? Take down your walls and let me, yeah, brick by brick, now let me, won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Wide awake is the way that you.
So yeah, as you can see, life was seemingly to be good, right? Well, we all know that 2020 for a lot of us was like one of the worst years ever, and that is surely my testimony. It's like it was horrible last year, I'm not even gonna lie. Well, nevertheless, during that time, everything was cool up until towards the end, the middle or end of the year. And let me tell you, I lost my job, and in that I ended up getting another job, thank God. But it kind of went downhill after that. I ended up contracting COVID and I was hospitalized. Whew, let me just take this time to say, for all of the healthcare providers that really love their job and love what they do and have a passion for that field, my hat goes off to you, because I've been on two sides of this thing. One side where the nurses and doctors are caring for you and loving on you and making sure that you are getting back to your normal self, or to your best health. And then I've been on the side where they don't care, what I mean? It's just a paycheck. And I'm sorry to say, but that's the reality of it. Just to go into it a little bit, I had a near-death experience in there, and let me tell you, it was crazy because, you know, initially when I went into the hospital, I knew that, you know, I was sick, and, you know, it had gotten so bad to like I couldn't breathe. Just normal walking, I couldn't breathe. You know, when I went in, my husband took me in, and he was kind of like, you know, are you sure you want to go in there, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, babe, listen, I need to go to the hospital. And for me to say that, you know, was like, it was something serious. So back to what I was saying, you know, we went to the hospital, you know, they checked me in and did all that. They did the COVID test, you know, of course I came up positive, and they put me in what they call isolation rooms. And basically what that means is you're in a hospital room with nothing and nobody. You're completely by yourself. It's just the basics, your bed, you know, TV, maybe like a chair, a commode. If you don't know what that means, it's like a portable potty, you know, toilet potty. And that's pretty much it. Like, there's nothing else in there. So and then the doctors and nurses, they are like terrified to come in there because nobody wants to catch COVID, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to contract that. You know, you want to be at your best health at all times. Well, I was in there. Thank God for the doctor that I had. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because the doctor that I had at the time, he was like amazing. You know, he pushed me to, you know, not rely on oxygen. And, you know, if you know anything about COVID, it attacks your respiratory area, and, you know, it's hard, it's difficult for you to breathe. You know, you can't really move around. You're coughing a lot. You're not keeping down any food. It's a lot going on. It's like a regular cold / flu, but amplified to like the 10th power when it comes down to your lungs and all of that. I had pneumonia in my lungs, inflammation, you know, it was just crazy. Long story short, you know, the day that I had the near-death experience, you know, I was walking to the bathroom, and mind you, remember I was saying that it's difficult for me to walk and breathe, and, you know, anyway, so you know, I'm going to the bathroom, and the nurse is helping me to the bathroom. I go to sit on the toilet, and, you know, you try to like relax on the toilet. Let me tell you, I could not breathe at all, and I'm literally gasping for air. And the nurse was in there, and what aggravated me was, you see me like you know, like gasping for air, and you are patting my back. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, lady, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you see me, you know. And what was so crazy was my mom, she always wanted to be on video calling me, you know, Google Duo or whatever. And I'm like, you know, she's like, hey, you know, trying to shout out for them to hear her. And I'm literally, you know, at this point I'm banging on the wall like air, you know what I mean? And, you know, I had a meter on me that could, you know, register out in the nurse's station, I'm sorry. And they could tell, you know, what's going on with my oxygen, what level it's at, and so on and so forth. So by that time, you know, my oxygen is going low and low and low, and well down, you know what I mean? And you know, my doctor, he comes in, he rushes in, he's like, turn the oxygen up. And they had to take off the regular tube from my nose and put on the big mask. And I'm telling you, it was crazy. Like it, you know how you watch movies and they're like, oh, my life flashed before my eyes. No, like I was scared, you know what I mean? It was crazy. So you know, my mom, you know, the whole time I'm thinking that, you know, well, matter of fact, I dropped my phone in the sink because I was trying to hold on to something, and it fell in the sink. And there was no water and anything, but it fell in the sink, and my mom was still on video call. Me, I'm trying to, you know, not have her, you know, get upset. I'm trying to mute her or take her off, and she heard the whole thing. You know, they gave me the mask and all of that. They sit me down. They turn me up to 15 meters, and pretty much what that means, that's the highest level of oxygen that anybody can be on inside of the hospital. And I mean, it's like a fan that was blowing in my face. And I looked at my phone after it was over, and my mom, she goes, you know, her lip is trembling, she's mad, like, what are those people doing, you know, so on and so forth. So I couldn't really talk because, you know, anytime I try to talk, I start coughing. my mom was like, okay, they need to know what they're doing in there. My baby is sitting up here and she's coughing and this and that. And, I was trying to signal her like, Mom, calm down, like I'm okay now. So after that, time went on. They put me on a couple of medicines. They put me on remdesivir. They put me on, there's this thing called plasma, and they give you 1 dose of that. And pretty much what that means is after someone has contracted COVID and then you recover from it, your body releases antibodies. So those antibodies, they take those and they filter it and all that, and then they give it to other patients that have COVID in hope, hear what I'm saying, in hopes that you'll be able to recover from COVID and it'll assist you or whatever. So my family, we talked about it. My husband, he did his research, all of that. And, I end up taking it. And then they had me on, I think it's called dexasteroid or whatever. And let me just tell you, and I'm not any kind of, I don't have any healthcare or medical background or anything, but from my experience and doing my research, and I've learned that, if they're not careful, those steroids that they're putting people on, it's causing people to lose their lives. Like, no lie, it's really causing people to lose their lives. Thank God I had the doctor that I had, because every day they would come in, make sure I'm good, and he walked me around the room, because here's the thing, when they put you in these rooms, they just stick you on oxygen, pump you with medicine, and then they hope that you'll be okay. Just allow your body to do the work. But if you're not exercising your lungs, because when you put oxygen in your body, the tube and everything, it causes your lungs to be laxated, like, they start to crash because they're not exercising themselves, if that makes any sense. And my doctor was like, no, you got to walk around. Even if you walk around the bed, you got to do something, because this is the only way you're going to be able to get out of here without oxygen. Nevertheless, I still had to go home with oxygen, but my meter had went down. So I was on 15, and then they took me down to 6. And oh my God, I was so scared, because again, I didn't want to experience what I had experienced before. And then from that, I was doing my respiratory therapy, and I was doing that, the walking, the exercising, the breathing exercise, all of that. And then they took me down to 4, and my doctor said, okay, if you can get down to 3, we can let you go. And by that time I was like, listen, I'm ready to get up out of here. Like, I was so done. The next day he was like, you know what, we're gonna take you down to 3 and we're gonna see how you perform. And I was good. I could feel the pressure on my chest and my lungs and stuff, like, I had to really take deep breaths. But listen, I was so glad that he did that, because I was cool at 15, like a fan in my face. I ain't gotta be gasping. I'm good, you know what I mean? But yeah, we did all the exercises, all of that, and then I was able to go home. My husband came and picked me up. We got all, my prescriptions and everything. And after that, maybe I was on doctor's orders to be home quarantine for 2 weeks, right? Like the start of the 2nd week, my mom ended up goes into the hospital. Now around this time, this is November, I had missed Thanksgiving. Now we're going into December, right? So my mom, she ended up, contracting COVID. Now let me explain something to you. My mom was not like going out in the public, you know what I mean? But I have my siblings and stuff, they work, and they be around their friends and stuff. So you never know how, and I'm not, saying they brought it to her, but I'm just saying you never know how things happen. She goes into the hospital, and she's in there. Now I'm at home, I can't do anything, I'm just trying to recover myself. And towards like the end of the 2 weeks, I get a call that my mom passed. Now I'm smiling now, but let me tell you, behind closed doors, off camera, I am like crying my eyes out all the time. You know what I mean? I'm getting better and stuff like that, but that was very difficult for me to hear, because I had just spoke to her doctors and her nurses. Oh, she's doing good, and everything is improving. And then I get a call, your mom is not here. What happened? And that's a whole nother story and video within itself. But it really, you know, it took me out. I'm not even gonna lie, it shook my world, because my mom, that was like my best friend, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who would expect, like, okay, I'm gonna go into the hospital, because we trust these doctors, we trust these nurses, and I'm not saying that all of them are bad, but what I am saying is what it's called, they're practicing, you know what I mean? They're going off of textbook, and they're looking at you based upon your size and age and all this other type of stuff, and they don't realize that you know, you have to make sure that you are looking for the best interest of your patient, not just what the book says. You get what I'm saying? Or you get what I mean? Like, I wanted, when it came down to my mom, I wish that they would have not just looked at her size, because my mom, she was a heavy set woman, but at the same time, they, you know, people think like, oh, well, they're big, so they need a lot of medicine, you know what I mean? But anyways, because I'm gonna go off, and yeah, so you know, my mom ended up passing away. Now, you know, everything is turned upside down. I have to make sure that, you know, I go over, and remember, I don't live with my mom. Me and my husband, we got the call maybe 5:53 in the morning. Okay, so we get this call 5:53 in the morning, and you know, I didn't even realize that it was Saturday morning, mind you. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, let me go over there and tell, you know, my siblings before they go to school, go off to work. I tell my husband, I'm like, babe, let's go, you know, we gotta hurry up and just go over there. And now I have to tell them, right, within my recovery, within everything that's going on with me and my house and all that. And mind you, side note, my husband had COVID as well at the same time, but he did not go to the hospital. My husband is very like, no. He's like, he relies on home remedies or natural remedies, and that's great. But that is what really cured him. He did garlic shots and all this other type of stuff, you know, drinking sour sap and all this other stuff, you know, natural remedies. But, you know, thank God for him and my mother-in-law. They band together and, you know, they did what they needed to do naturally to recover. You know, I was worried about him and worried about this, worried about that. And then the thing happened with my mom. She passes. Now I have to go over here to my siblings, tell them what's going on. So I go over there, you know, like I said, it was 5 something in the morning. So by the time I got there, maybe it was like 6. So I tell them, okay, pull everybody in, you know, in one room. Listen, guys, you know, we gotta call, mom passed. Everybody's screaming, crying, all of that. Normal reaction, whatever. Now I have to deal with that. And, you know, as time has gone on and stuff like that, I've taken on a lot. But at the same time, you know, it has taught me that I'm stronger than what I thought. You know what I mean? I first of all, I want to give first, like, before I even start to go into, you know, my emotions and stuff like that and what was going on with me, I want to thank my family and especially my husband, because they stepped up and, well, he stepped up and really, you know, anchored me in prayer and love and compassion in every area that you can think of. He stepped up and did it for me, you know, and held up my arms to be able to handle all of what was thrown at me in that time of losing my mom and all of that. You know, time went on. I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, you know, it was just tough. So now, you know, as time went on, we had the funeral and everything. I got to the point where I said, okay, you know, I need to get back in counseling. So I took myself back to counseling. And, you know, that really helped me to get where I needed to be, you know, to this point now. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or everything is cool, but I got back to the place where I could be like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm good or whatever. You know, push me to say, all right, Krys, you got to do things that make you happy. Because if you just sulk in your depression and in your grief and in your mourning process, it'll take you out. And I was like, okay, you know, I need to do something or whatever. I need to get myself together. That's what drove me back to YouTube. I loved it. If you look at my videos before, I was in love with the process, the editing, being on camera, all of that. No, you know, nobody could say like, oh, they're not nervous before they get on camera, but you know, it's nerve-wracking, but I love the whole process, the excitement of, you know, helping people and expressing my experiences and my feelings and emotions and all of that. So I am so happy to be back to YouTube. I end up launching, let me tell you, I'm so excited. I end up launching my virtual assisting business as well. We launched, it was like 2 days ago on the 19th, and well, you know, by the time you guys see it, it'll be, you know, later, but it was this month, April 19th, and I'm so excited to be, you know, getting back to a place of some kind of joy, because when I lost my mom, I didn't know, okay, I'm not gonna cry, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was really like, long story short, it was tough. Okay, that's all I can say. It was tough. So now, you know, coming back to YouTube, guys, and I just want to thank you for all my subscribers and family and friends that's been pushing me and like, hey, where you been? You know, we miss you and we want to see you out there. So guys, I'm officially back, and I'm going to be starting a series talking about, it's going to be titled All Things Grief and Recovery, and we're going to walk this thing together, you know, because I believe that we all need a community that can lift each other up. There's so many things going on in the world, so many, you know, sadness and depression, and, you know, people talking about mental health and all that. We're going to walk this thing together. If you have experienced this, share this with someone that has experienced, you know, any type of loss, especially if they've lost a parent or anything like that. This series is really going to help somebody, and I'm praying that God give me the right words, you know, to say to help somebody on, you know, their recovery process and their grief and mourning process. So I'm going to be very open and transparent with you guys, and you know, just walking through my process and sharing it with you on YouTube. Guys, if you stayed through and watched this whole video, I want to thank you for staying with me and enjoying this. You know, Mother's Day is coming up, so you know, enjoy your moms while you can. Enjoy your moms, guys. Enjoy your family. Get it right with any and everybody that you have problems with. And I know we say that a lot, but it's the truth. Get it right so you don't have to, you know, have any regrets. You know, God forbid something happens to them. You know what I mean? 2020 was a serious eye-opener for me. You know, we look like, oh, we're young and we're having fun and everything is good, but we don't cherish the things that we have right in front of us because it's a repetitive thing. It's, you know, you always seeing them, you're always spending time with them, but cherish those moments. So with that being said, guys, please subscribe, share this video, like, comment. I want to hear from you guys in the comment sections, and follow us on Instagram. We are on Instagram, All Things Krys. You can find us there at All Things Krys. Please follow us, you know, share, like I said, share this video. And guys, I can't wait to talk to you and see you guys next time. You have a good day. Be blessed. Love y'all. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.